After 3.5 years of investing into the stock market every single month, guys, I am finally glad to say that my stock market investment portfolio has surpassed the £100,000 mark. For me, it's still a shock. If you've been following me on my journey, I've been documenting my stock market portfolio on social media for the past 1.5 years now. It's been an absolute crazy journey with lots of ups, lots of downs, but nonetheless, it's been also worth it. So in this video, I'm going to be providing an update on the performance of my stock market investments and breaking down exactly how much I have across Vanguard, InvestEngine and Trading212. But before we get into the video, you might be wondering, I'm in a change of scenery. So yes, I've moved over to Dubai. I've been living here in my apartment now for about 6 weeks. No, not 6 weeks, about 4 weeks now. I've been super busy, hence why I haven't had a chance to actually make this video yet. So I actually crossed the £100,000 line roughly around 3 weeks ago. I've been eager to get this video out, but I've just been so busy with furnishing the apartment, getting everything all in line. But yeah, we're here, we're recording the video now, and that's what matters. In a separate video, I'm going to be making more content around my new life in Dubai. I recently done an unfurnished tour of my apartment, so I'll leave a link for you to watch it here. Feel free to check it out, and I'll probably make a furnished apartment tour video once I've finally finished furnishing this apartment. But yeah, guys, I'm settling into my new life in Dubai quite nicely. I'm really enjoying it here so far. Everything's working out really well. So yeah, should we get straight into the video? Let's log into Vanguard and let's see how much money I have in my Vanguard portfolio. But very quickly, before we get into the bulk of the video, can we get this video to 100 likes to celebrate £100,000 invested in the stock market? I'd really appreciate it if you could drop a like. It really does help with the algorithm and it'll help boost my content. So pause the video, drop a like, and whilst you're doing that, I'll log into Vanguard. Right, so I've logged into Vanguard and it's currently the 9th of October 2025 and I currently have £92,571.58 invested in my Vanguard portfolio. And this is split across my stocks and shares ISA and my SIPP account. Now, if we scroll down, you can see I have contributed £67,669.44. And as a result of investing that money, I have gained an investment return of £24,901.14, which now leaves me with a time-rated return of 56.33%. Now, this is actually an all-time high for my portfolio, or should I say for my Vanguard account. So yeah, that's really nice to see. Now I'm gonna head over to the month tab and I'm gonna break down how my Vanguard portfolio has performed over the last couple months. So I think my last update was back in August. So I'll show the numbers for September and October so far. Okay, so in September, my Vanguard portfolio grew by £3,308.62. This was an absolute smashing month. And this left me with an ending balance at the end of September with a total balance of £90,833.53. Now, fast forwarding to October, you can see so far, again, we've had a really strong start to the month. So in October, I'm already up by £1,270.05, which now takes my total cumulative return ever since I started this Vanguard portfolio, which I believe was back in January 2023, now takes my cumulative return to £24,901.14. If you're someone who's remained invested into US stocks over the past quarter, so in Q3, I think you've probably got a big smile on your face because US stocks have done really well over the past 3 months. And it's not just US stocks, to be honest. Global stocks in general, the total stock market has performed really well over the past 3 months. So yeah, if you're someone who didn't panic sell back in April when things took a bit of a turn downwards, you're definitely smiling right now. So yeah, that wraps up my Vanguard portfolio. So just to summarize, I have £92,571.58 invested in my Vanguard account. And again, this is spread across my stocks and shares ISA and SIPP. However, the majority of this money is in my stocks and shares ISA. Now we're gonna head over to InvestEngine and let's take a look at how my InvestEngine stock market portfolio is performing. Right, I've just logged into InvestEngine and as you can see, within InvestEngine, I have a total balance of £11,156.17. And I'm now currently sitting at a total positive return of £1,810 and 38 pence. So here's the chart that sits behind my InvestEngine stocks and shares ISA. I spoke about this in a previous video, but if you're new to InvestEngine, I'll do a quick summary of how this chart looks, or should I say how it works. So the bluish kind of purpley color resembles the contributions that I've put into the portfolio. The green line resembles my return, and then the little black dots that you see resemble buys. So as you can see, I was making regular contributions towards my InvestEngine stocks and shares ISA up until about, I want to say, end of November. And then that's when I decided to start using Trading212. So that's why the black dots just stop all of a sudden, because I stopped actively contributing to this portfolio. But even though I no longer contribute to this portfolio, you can see it's still making me money behind the scenes. So like I said, the green line resembles my return. And as you can see, the portfolio has literally just hit a new all-time high. So if I hover over the chart slightly, you can see around the beginning of April, things took a turn for the worst. I was actually at a loss. I was at a negative return at this moment in time. And then ever since then, the stock markets just gradually went up and up and up and up and up. And I'm now sitting at an all-time high, which is very nice. Now, scrolling down to what I'm invested in, again, I like to keep my strategy as simple as possible. So I just purely invest into ETFs with this portfolio. So I currently have £5,944 and 12 pence invested in FWRG, £3,631 and 8 pence invested in VUAG, and then £1,580 and 94 pence invested in XNAQ. Funnily enough, it's the fund that I've invested the least in has performed the best. So as you can see with XNAQ, I've got an ROI of 23.93%, which is my highest return out of all the ETFs I hold in this portfolio. But nonetheless, I'm still very, very happy with how FWRG and VUAG are performing. Again, both are a lot more diverse than XNAQ. XNAQ, of course, is a lot more specific in terms of what it's actually invested in. But like I said, FWRG and VUAG are still performing very, very well. So that wraps up my InvestEngine stocks and shares ISA. So again, just to summarize, I have £11,156 and 17 pence invested in InvestEngine. Now, if you would like a free welcome bonus when signing up to InvestEngine, then I'll leave a link in the description and in the comments. I'll leave it as a pin in the comments. And if you sign up via my link, you'll get a free welcome bonus of up to £100 when you invest your first £100. So I think it's a nice little way to get involved with the platform and of course, essentially get a bit of a bonus for signing up to the platform. Now, last but not least, let's head over to Trading212 and let's see how my portfolio is performing over at Trading212. Okay, so welcome to my Trading212 account. Now, I like to call this my baby account because it's the smallest out of all my accounts. But with my Trading212 stock and shares ISA, I have £658 and 23 pence invested. I'm sitting at a total return now of £60 and 23 pence, which leaves me with a rate of return of 33.2%. Now, scrolling down to what I'm invested in this account. So you can see the majority of money invested in this account is actually in my pie called Monty's Pie. I know, very creative, right? So I currently have £567 and 29 pence invested in my pie. I'll go on and talk about what's in my pie in a moment. But before we go into that, you can see I also have some holdings with Open Door Technologies, which aren't performing so great. So I currently have £91 and 5 pence within Open Door Technologies, and it's at a negative return of 8.81%. Not great, I know. I bought into this last week. There's a lot of news around the newly appointed CEO, and I thought this might be a good time to get in. So I plan on holding this for a while. I'm not sure exactly how long I'm going to hold it for. So now let's head over to my pie and see what's actually invested in my pie. So here we have the holding split for Monty's Pie. Now this is very, very similar to my InvestEngine portfolio, which I previously showed. So the majority of this pie is invested in FWRG. So that's the Invesco FTSE All World. I currently have £340 and 13 pence allocated to this fund. Next up, I have £170 and 10 pence invested into the Vanguard S&P 500. The ticker code for this is VUAG. And then last but not least, I have £57 and 5 pence allocated to the Xtrackers Nasdaq 100. And again, the ticker code for this is XNAQ. And as you can see, all of these are in the green, which is really, really nice to see. Now, One of you amazing people recently signed up via my link. So I actually got a free welcome bonus or a free share. And that's in my Trading212 general investment account. So as you can see, I now have £10 and 5 pence sitting in my Trading212 general investment account, which is a completely separate account to a stocks and shares ISA. Obviously, a stocks and shares ISA is a tax-free account, whereas general investment accounts aren't tax-free. So any profit that you make in a general investment account, you are liable to pay tax if it reaches above a certain threshold. Now, the way Trading212 works is when you're gifted free stocks or free shares, they automatically get uploaded to your Trading212 Invest account, hence why it went straight to this account instead of my stocks and shares ISA. So let's see what free share I received and how it's performed. Boom! So I received shares in BMW, and unfortunately, it's at a bit of a loss. So I'm currently down by 6.6% in my BMW holdings. Now, originally I was thinking to just sell it. So as soon as I received the free share, I was thinking to sell it and then just invest what I usually invest in, which I previously just showed you in the Monty Pie. But I thought, let me just stick it out. What have I got to lose? I'm not really actively monitoring this account, so I'm not too bothered about what it does. So who knows, BMW might pick up, but I'm not really monitoring it too much. I don't really care, and it's not like it's a huge amount anyway. So I think I'll just keep things as is. And if I get more free shares, I'll probably just leave them as they are and let them be. So that wraps up my Trading212 stocks and shares ISA and general investment account. Now let's go ahead and add up all these figures across Vanguard, InvestEngine and Trading212. And let's see what my total portfolio balance is now sitting at. This is the exciting part. Okay guys, so I've just ran up the numbers behind the scenes and we're gonna break it down now. So with Vanguard, I had £92,571 and 58 pence invested. With InvestEngine, I had £11,156 and 17 pence. And then last but not least, with Trading212, I had £668 and 54 pence, which leaves me with a final total portfolio balance of £104,396 and 29 pence. Now, to me, that just sounds crazy to say. I think in my last portfolio update video that I done on YouTube, I had about £98,000, and that was back in August, I believe. That was the last time I done one of these videos. So to grow by about £6,000 in the space of 2 or 3 months, to me is just mind blowing. And I think again, that's a real testimony to once you find a plan, stick with it and be consistent. I've been investing, like I said at the beginning of this video, every month for the last 3.5 years, just over 3.5 years. And I'm now really finally starting to reap the benefits of investing and being a long-term investor. So please guys, me documenting these numbers, it's not to flex, it's to show you that if you stick to a plan, you really can achieve these results as well. But yeah guys, that wraps up this video. I really do hope you enjoyed it. Please drop a like, drop a comment, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Subscribe to the channel. Boom. I'm gonna catch you guys soon in another portfolio update video. Peace out.